Hello, Heart Rockets, and welcome to a new week of art creation at home. Today, we are going to be making something special for one of the most special people, hopefully, in your life, and that is your mom, or it could also be your grandma, your aunt, somebody that you love so much that you want to tell them thank you and that you love them this weekend. Typically, we celebrate Mother's Day this Sunday. So you can create this card for your mom or your grandma or your aunt, whoever you would like to give something special to. And I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek of what the final product is going to look like. We've got a beautiful card here made using something that you already have at home. Last week we made our recycled robots using recycled materials. Today, we're gonna get to make our card using an egg carton. So with my card here, so this is gonna be our final product eventually. I'm gonna start with an egg carton. And if you have a paper one or if you have a styrofoam one, either is fine. I had a paper one, so that's what I'm using. I also had one that was only 6 eggs. So I used 3 for this card, and I'm going to use 3 more for my demo here. If you have one for a dozen eggs, you can make a lot more flowers and have a bigger bouquet. Before I get started with my egg carton, I'm going to start on my piece of paper. If you just have a white piece of paper, that's awesome. If you have colored paper, whichever you have at home. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to fold my paper in half like a hamburger. So I'm going to fold it so that it's wider than it is long. And I'm going to just crease that line down right there. Now, this is important. Before I start adding all of my cool stuff to the front of my card, I want to write on the inside, because once I have things glued to the front, I'm going to want to let it dry and wait for a little while. It'll be hard to flip it over to write in it. So right now, I would want to take my markers or pencils or crayons, whatever you're going to use, and inside of your card, you can write a message. So like Miss Fan did here, I wrote, "Dear Mom, Happy Mother's Day. Love, Sydney." And so that'll be for my mom for Mother's Day. And I wrote something on the front too, but you can do that later. So before we start creating, write whatever message you want for your mom inside. You can also draw a picture on this side. Maybe you can draw a portrait of you and your mom together holding hands, or your grandma or your aunt. Whoever you're giving the card to. You could draw an extra cool special drawing in here for them. So now I'm going to get started on the front. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my egg carton, and I'm going to either tear with my hands or cut it into the different little sections. So if you have scissors at home, you can do this with scissors. If you don't, you can just rip it with your hands. Easy peasy. So Miss Fan's gonna rip this one. I'm ripping carefully, not fast, because I don't want it to all rip apart. So I've got my little sections separated now. Now these don't really look like flowers yet, do they? So now I'm going to start to cut the edges and start to make them look a little bit more like a flower. If you don't have scissors at home, what I want you guys to do is you can just very carefully rip and tear the tops off of the little pieces to make them a little bit softer. But if you got scissors, that'll be easier. So I'm gonna cut here, and I'm gonna cut it as a curve. So I cut it around as a curve so that it looks like a flower petal. You could also make, some flower petals are pointy, so you could make your flower petals pointy. You can do it however you want your flowers to look. So I'm gonna cut here. Because this one was the edge, see how it's flat? So I'm gonna cut a V into it a little bit. So I'm gonna cut down and down. So now I've got a little V in there to make the petal shape. Now I'm gonna cut a curve here, and I've got my flower base. What I want to do now is I want to open it up a little bit. So right along the little seams of the edges, I'm just going to tear it a little bit. You can also cut this. So I'm just gonna tear that a little bit. See how I'm breaking it apart a little bit, not too much. And what it's gonna do now is it's gonna open up into more of a flower shape. Are you starting to see it? So what I'm gonna do that for my other two right here. So I'm gonna make these also have a curve. You can choose, obviously, your different shape, and you can make it all different. You can make all the flowers different. You could even layer two of the egg cartons inside one flower to make it look like a bigger flower. So now I've got that. I'm gonna cut. The other one I tore it. This one I'm cutting, so you can choose which one you want to do. And I'm gonna open that up. I've got another flower. So I've got those ready. I'm making a little bit of a mess here, but that's okay. Sometimes we make a mess in art, and that's okay. I'm gonna make my last flower here, cutting off my petals into a curve. And next, I'm gonna start to add color. So if you have paint, if you have watercolors, if you have markers, if you've got crayons, whatever you have at home, you can use to start to color your flower. So now I have my fourth flower here. I'm gonna use paint on mine, and all you wanna do is just choose your color, and I'm gonna choose two colors. So I'm gonna paint the inside one color, the center part of my flower, and then I'm gonna paint the outside part a different color. So I've got one color in there, and you can choose all different colors. I'm gonna do these ones all with this violet purple color in the center, but you could choose them to be rainbow colors, whatever you like. And remember, if you don't have paint, that's okay. You can use something different. I'm gonna change my color. I don't wanna make my palette dirty, so I'm gonna go swish, 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 swipe, swipe to clean off my brush. And I'm gonna choose a new color for here, and I'm gonna color out my rest of my flower. If I had the little nifty fast forward button, I would do that right now, because I'm just painting them all kind of inside. If you want to paint them outside too, to make that even more special, you can. And then I would paint my other two as well. So I'm gonna pause on that so that you guys don't have to watch me paint every single one. Now for putting them together. So once they're all painted and dried, you can start to assemble your cards. So here on the front, you can use the paint to draw the stems of the flowers. You could use a marker or a crayon. You could use string like this. Miss Span used string on this one to make my stems. I'm going to use, though, these popsicle sticks that I colored green. So on the front here, I'm going to use my glue bottle, and I'm going to do a little line of glue, not too much. And I'm gonna glue these 3 sticks down on the front of my card. And this is the cool thing with this project, is that you can be really creative and make yours unique and different. If you don't have even an egg carton at home, you could cut out the flowers from paper, and you can make it a little bit more unique and special with whatever you have at home. So I've got my 3 stems there ready to go. Now I'm gonna get to glue down my flowers. So I'm gonna put a little circle of glue on the bottom. Not a lot, I don't need too much. And then I'm gonna hold it down, probably for about 20 seconds. So count in your head that you reach 20 seconds at least where to let it dry. It's probably gonna maybe need even longer than that too. All right, now I'm gonna glue my other ones down, and I'm gonna hold those, and I'm gonna glue my last one on here, and I then can get to add in extra detail like a message. That means that you can write something on the front. You can draw extra pictures on the front to show maybe there's butterflies in your next to your bouquet of flowers, maybe there's a ladybug or an animal or a creature on the front of there. So it's not perfectly dry yet, but I'm gonna hold it up. It's looking so cute. And you can really make this very detailed by doubling the egg carton to make it even more detailed. You can make different petal shapes. It's up to you guys. Once you're done, if you have things like glitter at home or extra paper, extra details, you can paint and color and really, really, really make your Mother's Day card special. I know that whoever you give these to will love them and appreciate all your hard work because they work hard for you all year to keep you safe and healthy, and right now especially to keep you learning at home. So tell your parents thank you, give them a hug, and we miss you guys so much. Keep creating, and we will hopefully see you guys all very, very soon. Bye.